Is go time. It is right on the money. It's 7:01. And as we know, 60 minutes flies by very, very, very fast. So let's go ahead and get into tonight's masterclass, the Aesthetics Amplified. And if this is your first time, like I said, I love it when you guys come for the first time. And obviously, if you're returning, that's even better because that means you got something out of the last class. So you're back for even more. So today's topic, from clicks to clients, increase sales and fill your chairs. I love that. When I put that together, it sounded like it rhymed. Let me say it again. From clicks to clients, increase sales and fill your chairs. No, that doesn't rhyme, but it's still cute. Okay, so that is today's topic. So let's go ahead and get into it. And as you all know, I always like to start off with the housekeeping. Just go through this real quick, okay? So type your questions in the chat as we go, and I will answer them at the end. Don't try to remember them. If you have questions, just go ahead and type them in the chat or type them in the comment section, wherever it allows you to type your question, okay? Type it and then it will notify me and I'll answer at the end. The classes are recorded for training purposes, but I do not see you. You just see me and you see my screen, okay? So your device will just stay muted until the end. Then, we'll unmute it, and if you want, you can talk. Replays will be uploaded inside of the AA Facebook community. So if you do catch the replay at a later time, make sure you drop #replay in the comment section. Ask any questions. If you watch it, the whole way through. If you have any questions about anything, definitely drop them. Tell me where you're from, all that good stuff, because I do like to know when you guys go back and watch the replays, okay? Just be respectful and just remember 60 minutes, it goes by fast, and take advantage of Q&A at the end. And that is it. So who am I? I love starting here because for you guys who are actually new to the masterclass and you're not really familiar with who I am, maybe this is your first time. Maybe you just started following me on Instagram, or you found me on TikTok, or whatever the case is, okay? I just want you to know that I started with zero, just like a lot of us. I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, and I turned a passion into a business. My passion for video creation, for content creation, I turned it into a business. And again, I started with 0 followers, 0 subscribers, 0 clients, 0 everything. I started a YouTube channel. That was really my first outlet into the digital media marketing world. And it was a disaster. I still have some of the old videos up, and I'll never take them down, because, well, actually, I'm lying. I took a few down, but for the most part, the ones that are still a little bad, but just not embarrassingly bad, I left those up. You can always go look at them, but I started from 0, and I like to leave videos like that up because I think it's really important that a lot of you know where I came from, what my experience is, all of the things that I've tried and failed to get me to where I am now. So at the time of putting this together, I have successfully helped over 100 business owners successfully use the internet to increase income using very simple online marketing strategies. And that is what we're going to get into in tonight's lesson. So let's go. What will you learn today? This is very important. I need an outline because I want to know what I'm learning each and every time I take any type of lesson, class, course. Okay, so this is why I put this together for y'all. So I always like to start off with my opening statement. While the internet has opened up a world of global possibilities, it's often the connections right in your backyard that lead to lasting, long-time success. Now, I definitely believe that You want to create raging fans, aka potential inquiring clients in your local community. It's the best way to get started, and especially a lot of you who provide hands-on, services, right? So building local credibility, identifying your ideal local client. This is going to be a good one. Leveraging local partnerships, community engagement, local online presence, and local marketing campaigns. So today's lesson is 100% tailored towards building credibility, building trust, know, all of that in your community. So let's start with the importance of local growth. Like I said, and you hear me talk about this probably in all of my master classes, because it's so important that you know how the patient buyer journey is, what they're looking for, what they're seeking, to actually lead to the sale. And that's building trust, that's building and that's building the like factor in your community. Word of mouth, community feedback, and adaptation. So basically with the feedback, what it does is it allows you to improve your services based on the preferences in your local community. So maybe you might think that a lot of people in your local community are suffering with hyperpigmentation or dark spots, but you host events, you do live Q&As online, you ask questions, you poll your audience, and then you find out that they're actually suffering with oily skin, right? So now you can tailor your services to fit a larger demographic in your local community. So that's why it's so important to ask for the feedback. Don't just use social media to post and ghost, but instead use social media to ask for feedback. And then you can really learn what's really going on in your local community, because it's so easy to think that we know what our clients want. Trust me, I fell into this trap. So that's how I know. I'm speaking from experience. It's so easy to just fall into that trap. But the second you really understand their needs, their pain points, what's keeping them up at night, and you figure out how you can use your products and your services as a solution to solve those problems, that's when you'll see exponential growth. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Building local credibility. So let's talk about a few strategies to help you establish local credibility. Participate in local events and networking events. So I know exactly here in my hometown, we have lots of networking events, many that you can choose from. And I would say we live in a smaller area. So if you are, in a larger city or in a larger country, wherever you're, watching from, find out what types of networking groups you can get involved with. Find out what type of local events you can get involved with. You can be a sponsor, you can be a vendor. Just show up, make yourself known. And the reason why you want to attend local events, because it's just a different way to reach more people. That is what this is all about. This is all about reaching a larger audience, but specifically in your local community. There's different strategies for each thing, right? So I could tell you how to reach people online, massively reach people online, but then there's a different strategy for massively reaching people in your local community. So attend those events, set up your tables, get your offers in line, tell your clients when they come in for services, hey, we're going to be here. Put signs up in your office, put signs up in your bathroom, all of that stuff. Let your audience know this is what you plan on doing. And then if they want to be a part of it, which I'm sure they do, because, they just love and they crave your services, they will show up. Okay. And then as far as like the networking groups, you have to be intentional about the networking groups that you join. So do your research. Make sure you're not joining a networking group full of yous, because you are not going to buy from you. So be very intentional. Do your research. Check the groups. Some of them have listings of the attendees or everybody that's in the group, right? Do your research. Collect and showcase local testimonials. This is great for building credibility in your local community, and especially if you can get a testimonial from someone who's very impactful in the local community, like a realtor, or maybe a personal stylist, or maybe someone who has another business but not a direct competitor with you. Okay. And we'll talk more about that later, like intentional partnerships and things like that. But collecting testimonials from socialites and impactful people in your local community. So one of my clients that I have actually right now, what we did was we did a video testimonial campaign. So I sent out an email and I'm like, hey, who would be interested in coming to the spa for a day and, giving a video testimonial, something very simple, because everybody's always like, well, what do I say? So I'm going to give you a script. You can tell your people what to say if you try this. All you do is just say, hey, I'm so-and-so. And a lot of times I cut the hey out, which is a little trick. I cut the hey out, but so many people feel comfortable starting with that. So they're like, hey, I'm so-and-so. This is what I do. That's important. Have them announce what they do. And I've been a patient or client of so-and-so for this many years, and I really love this service. This is my favorite service. And yes, I would recommend this staff to my family and friends. Very simple. And then to add a cherry on top, if they let you get their social media handles, then get that and then tag them, okay? Because they're going to share it with their community. And again, this is just reaching more people in the local community, right? So that's something very easy that you can implement. Again, if you are doing what you're supposed to do in this industry and your patients are falling in love with you and they are wanting to come back for your services, and you're showing them all types of love when they get there, trust me, they will want to help you promote your business and what it is that you have going on. So just give it a try. Like I say, just send out an email, collect information, see who wants to attend, plan out a day where you have people come in, or even this, get used to asking for them when they come into the office. Put up a little sign at your check-in desk where you say, hey, if you want to get $25 off your service today, ask the front or ask about it, or here, let me reword that. Ask how you can get $25 off your service today. Just put it in black and white, put it in bold. Maybe if you have color printer, put it in color, stick it at the check-in desk. People will ask, and then just say, hey, would you mind filming a video testimonial? And then just give them the script that I just gave you. Go ahead and type it up and then just hand it to them. And they'll be like, oh, really? This is that easy? Yes, it's that easy. And then post them on social media, post them on Google My Business, post them on YouTube, just, share them in email campaigns. That's pretty much what I do with my clients. So now I'm just giving you free. I've just given you paid information for free. All right. So another thing that you can do, showcase local awards and recognitions that you've gained within your local community, or maybe you went to school for something, or maybe you took some sort of course or certification or whatever it is. I know you have it plastered up in your office somewhere laid out because you're super proud of yourself, which you should be. Post that type of stuff online, again, because it's all about helping you build credibility. And then when these potential clients, when they start clicking through your content, wherever it's plastered, whether that be social media, email, or video, however they found it. But whenever they start clicking, then they'll see all of this stuff. And then they'll say, okay, well, this person really knows their SHIT, right? So that's the goal at the end of the day when it comes to building the credibility and hosting sales and savings events. Invite the community. I had an office one time, they were telling me, oh, well, no, this is not going to work. We just know that this idea won't work because we tried it in the past. And when we tried it in the past, sorry, you guys, I don't know, I'm having all type of audio issues tonight. Okay, so yes, I had an office in the past and they said, oh, well, hosting a sales event, it didn't work for us. So I asked them to, kind of walk me through their process and their protocols and what they did. And she told me that she said that they marketed only to their RSVPs. And I was like, well, who are your RSVPs? And they didn't really have a legitimate category. They were just people. So needless to say, they didn't show up. So they felt like hosting another sales and savings event would not be successful. And it definitely was. And if you guys follow me, you can go look at the content, from that night. We had tons of fun, and your clients will remember that. It's all about staying at the top of the mind. It's about staying at the top of the mind so that when your patients and your clients, when they go out in the community, because they do go out, they have friends who have friends, people who spend money know other people who like to spend money. People who spend money hang with people who spend money, right? So when they go around these people and, someone addresses something that is going on in their life that you have the answer to, you can solve, then guess what? Guess whose name is going to come up first? When different people are moving into your town and they get into these Facebook groups, which we'll talk about that later too. They get into these Facebook groups and they're like, well, hey, do you know someone who does this and does that? Guess whose name they're dropping, right? So that is what this is all about. It's just staying at the top of mind, building credibility, and creating a group of raging fans. You will hear me say that all the time. You'll have to read that book, okay? So identifying your ideal local client. Okay, how to attract high ticket clients who are actually going to be able to afford your services. They're not coming in to just look for this discount and look for that discount. They're not coming in only because you had some sort of, promotion running or something like that. You want to attract and retain clients who are going to start here, then spend a little more and a little more and a little more each time. Okay. And the way that you attract these types of clients is by identifying different characteristics of who they are. Some will call it a client persona. Yeah, I think I said that right. And then some will call it a client avatar. It doesn't matter. I don't even, it doesn't even matter what you call it, but it's basically just building this person that fits the description of your ideal client. So let me tell you guys who my ideal client is, what she looks like, embodies, resembles all of the things, right? So my ideal client, I would say, is between the ages of like 25 and maybe 45. They're definitely family oriented. So they do have children, maybe one or two. maybe a small baby, but they are definitely family oriented. They shop online. They have a shopping problem. They really do. And they like the nicer things in life. They are ambitious, very ambitious. They're workaholics. They're in the aesthetics service business. Okay. They're aesthetic service providers, whether that's a med spa owner, a aesthetic dentist, a cosmetic dentist, a nurse injector, right? Plastic surgeon, dermatologist. That fits my ideal avatar, my ideal client avatar, right? So when you think about what your ideal client looks like, I don't necessarily mean looks like on the surface, right? I mean, looks like as it relates to all of the characteristics I just, gave you about mine. So think about their local demographics and their psychographics and their physiographics and all of that. Y'all, this is stuff that we learned in college. I do have a psychology degree. I don't really talk about it a lot, but it really helps me when it comes to identifying stuff like this, and then just really knowing people and knowing their behaviors and what makes them do what they do and say what they say and click where they click and buy what they buy, right? So how do you attract these people? How do I attract these people? How can we attract these people? Well, again, it starts with identifying who they are. So now that you know your ideal client avatar has a shopping problem, well, maybe you can make little memes about women, I don't know, thinking girl math. Okay, there's this little trend going on right now, and it's like girl math. So girl math would be something like spend this amount of money on Starbucks and get my hair done, shopping online at the boutiques, but then not putting gas in my car. Like, funny things like that. That's something that will make my ideal client laugh because she can relate to that because she loves her Starbucks. She loves shopping online at the boutiques and all that type of stuff. So that's why it's so important to just remember that you attract what you post. I talk about this on my social media channels all the time. You attract what you post. So if you fall into this trap of always posting, like discount this and discount that and payment plan this and affordable this and savings that, well, don't be upset when you have a client that comes to your office and she's asking you, hey, how can I save? What discount can I get? Blah, 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 So just be very mindful of that. And am I saying don't offer discounts? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that, just to be honest, that's not how we grow our business. We don't grow our businesses with payment plans and discounts. We don't. Even though I'm going to offer you guys an amazing offer at the end of this masterclass, but still, it's because you're here. You're here. So, just remember that the things that you post online, that's usually the type of clientele you will attract. So sit down and make a list. And actually, we'll talk about that later, okay? Because you do have homework, of course, like always at the end. So leveraging local partnerships, the power of local collaborations. Now, when your clients or potential clients in the area, they see you collaborating with other businesses, especially if they're like well-known and well-respected businesses in the local area, that validates your expertise and your commitment to your local area. And they see that and they feel that and they want to be a part of that. So once again, this is another strategy that takes time. You need to do it with intention. Do your research. Go look at their social media accounts. Because I'll tell you right now, I have a client and she got into a partnership with someone, and I feel like, she feels like that she's not, that the other partnering business, they are not giving their all. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And they're not, because they have zero social media presence. So am I saying that it wasn't a good partnership? No, it was a great partnership for her business structure and for, their business structure. But but sometimes you have to sit back and you have to ask yourself, is this really intentional? Is this, are we really going to get something out of this? Is this other business going just as hard on their marketing that we are? Are they going just as hard on letting everybody know about, services and things like that? And this particular business was not, but my client is, so doing the homework, doing the research beforehand, before you just decide to partner up with with another local business is very important. Okay, so a few successful partnerships. So let's say, again, you guys are in the aesthetic service industry. Partner with a gym, partner with a candle making company, partner with a perfume making company, partner with a boutique. That's just about as generic as I can get, because I don't know everyone's area, but you kind of get the idea, right? If it's not a direct competitor with you, obviously, but then just do your homework, because you want to make sure, again, you guys have similar clientele, because it has to make sense. Because sometimes, one client that they might, okay, for an example, and take this with a grain of salt. So let's say you do a collaboration with a dessert place. Okay, you're in aesthetics and you do a collaboration with a dessert place. Usually the person that is indulging in the dessert, okay, they might not fit the ideal client of you, someone who is in aesthetics and wellness and health, and someone who's, they care about their image, right? Now, am I saying that the two don't cross? That's not what I'm saying. But if you have to think, on the bigger scale, usually the clientele that love the dessert place and that are going there, they may not necessarily be the one that's over here concerned about their aesthetics. Okay, I'm just saying. I hope I didn't offend anybody. Okay, so how to identify local partners. Get online, do your research, look at their social media, look at their websites, look at their Google reviews. Ooh, that's a big one. What are other people saying about them? How often are they posting on social media? Is it active? Do they use stories? Do they even know what they're doing on social media? All right. So community engagement, the importance of active community participation. Okay. It's just very important to engage within your community. It really is. Mostly because, again, like back to the first slide, just piggybacking off of that, it allows you to just build the know, like, trust factor, allows you to build the credibility. So you can do that again by sharing personal stories. A great way to do that is something that's trending online right now. I don't know if you guys have seen the shift in the content, but share a personal story as it relates to your business, obviously, in how you've helped a client. Just record yourself, do a voiceover, and record yourself over one of your videos, doing whatever it is that you're doing. You could be sitting at the desk, I don't know, or ordering inventory, or you could be preparing Botox. whatever it is that you're doing. You can get, you could be in your salon suite getting ready to perform a facial, and you're getting your equipment together. That's what I'm trying to say. You're getting all of your equipment together, and your skincare and your cotton balls and whatever else you need, right? Record yourself. And let's just say that this particular client is has been in the, getting microneedling treatments, and now they've come back for their third treatment, and you notice the improvement, and she tells you how, she's confident again, and she feels good. She likes to talk to people. She doesn't always hide her face. She doesn't have to wear so much makeup now because her skin is flawless. Obviously, things like that make you feel good. So share that story. Find a way that you can share that story. Get on Instagram, and like I said, do a voiceover and start with today's client. She came in for her third microneedling treatment. She told me this and she told me that, and it just makes me feel so good as an independent, blah, blah, blah. Or it makes me feel so good as a dentist, as an aesthetic dentist, because, this is my passion. And I live for making people feel good and look better. So the fact that she shared that with me was just absolutely amazing. And I love this journey, and I can't wait to continue to help more women out there just like you. Okay. That's it. You're just sharing a story. And it takes time to get good at that. It does. It takes time to get good at that. But you just put your thoughts together, put them all together. But center it around the benefit of the client. Okay. Center it around that. Don't make it so much about you. And if you do, make it about your urge to help the client. Okay. And encouraging local involvement. People want to be involved, y'all. They really want to be involved. There are so many ways that you can do this. So I put an example here. If you're a clinic, you sponsor a local charity run. You and your team participate in the event. You put the hype on it. You post about it on social media. You send it out in your email newsletter. Send it out in an email campaign. Let people know in the office. Put signs up. All of this. It just needs to be planned. And then what happens is clients who attend, whether they're new, they're still in the decision phase, they haven't decided yet, maybe they called your office to schedule and they never showed up, maybe they did it twice, but whoever this person is, they will recognize, your attendance with this charity, and then they'll associate the two together. Okay. They'll associate your good cause, your good faith, your wholesomeness in the community. And then they'll always remember you. Okay. And they're like, oh, well, this person did this and they did that. So there's all types of little charity and all kind of events here in my hometown. We have all kinds of runs and charities and walks and foundations and all kinds of things. Okay. So once again, find what works for you. Get active. Let your clients be involved, because people love to feel like they are a part of something big. And what you have going on is bigger than them. Okay. That's usually how it is. So focus on your local online presence. Let's start with this term here, which is one of my favorites, SEO. And what is SEO? SEO is how potential clients find you online. It stands for search engine optimization. And you want to be found online. Okay, this is something that a lot of you miss. You create content, or you have someone develop a website for you, but then you don't realize that you have to be discovered. People need to find the website. Okay. People need to know that your social media content exists, because not everybody out there is just following you or just, looking at your content. But you want to reach people who are not, basically already in your ozone. You want to reach people past that. So how can you be found online? One mistake that I see happen all the time is that you're not using local keywords and local hashtags within your content. A lot of you use hashtags that are attracting other businesses who do what you do. That's what you're attracting. Or you're attracting vendors, or you're attracting those people who are constantly in your inbox asking you to buy fake followers. Okay. So how can we prevent that? It's called keyword and hashtag research. So I'm going to give you an example. Within my community, within every community, there are, I like to call them insider hashtags. There are hashtags that only your community might be using. So a community specific hashtag that a lot of us use here in my hometown is low country living. Okay, how do I know that? How do I know that? Because I did the research and I know that they're following that hashtag. People in this local area. I don't particularly target people in this local area, not for my business. But again, I have 3 clients here in this local area. So that's how I know that, that is one. And it's honestly just a part of the research. When I onboard a new client and I do market research and keyword research and hashtag research, that's the information that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the insider keywords, the insider hashtags, the ones that are being used by people in your local community. So you have to use that within your content. That is how you get found online. People usually start, and it really depends. It really depends. The age group here. Okay. We can talk about this all day, but it really depends where they go when they want information. A lot of people are realizing now that when you go to Google, sometimes Google can take you down a rabbit hole. And a lot of people want to avoid that. So they'll get on TikTok, they'll get on YouTube, and they'll search for things. So that's why I say, we talked about in the last masterclass, which you can always access at any time in the AA Dream Team Facebook community. The replays are always there. I see Jennifer. Yes, she asked a question. Yes, I'm going to answer the question at the end. That is a very, very, very good question. So Jennifer and I actually have a one-on-one consulting call coming up I think it's in 2 weeks, actually. Jennifer just relocated and she is trying to regain her clientele in New York. How exciting. She came from Florida and went all the way to New York, and her and I will have our one-on-one. I'm so excited because she is not new to this. Okay. Give yourself more credit. She is not new to this. But anyways, all right. So thank you for being here. I love it when my clients show up to these master classes. So using social media to target your local audience. Again, we talked about that. It's the use of your hashtags, the use of your location tags. You don't always have to use the location tag of your business. Actually, I encourage you to use that less. You can use it, from time to time. But also use location tags that are in your surrounding cities. So here's more paid information for free. Go to your Instagram insights. Look at your demographics. You guys are going to see why data is so important. It's so much more, just throwing stuff online. Go look at your demographics and you will see that 50% of your audience comes from this state and city. 50% comes from this state and city. 50% comes from this state and city, or whatever. Obviously can't have that many 50s. Girl math. No, but seriously. So what that tells you is that those are some of the location tags that you should use. And all of this is done with research. Okay, we do this during the onboarding session with all of the accounts because we need to know before we just start posting content online. Now, Facebook groups, I talked about this earlier. Facebook groups are gold for local exposure, but you have to find the right Facebook groups. There's a caveat with everything. You got to do the work. You got to do the research. Find the right Facebook groups. Get in there, promote your services. I'll give you an example. I'm a part of a Facebook group. I think it's like a hairstylist Facebook group or something or another. And I'm logged in under my client's account because they have days where you can, drop your link, whatever you got going on. You have a sale, do you just want to invite people in? You just want to let people know that you exist or whatever. And you go to the Facebook group and you drop it. It's full of people who are in the local area because someone else has gathered these people together. Now you can create your own Facebook group. Okay. That's another masterclass. But for now, if you just want to reach, new clients who don't know anything about you very quick, join a Facebook group that is full of hungry patients and hungry clients that exist right in your local community. Okay. So just remember, you have to be discovered online. You can create all these fancy videos. You can do all this stuff. You can do all these photo shoots. You can do it all. But if no one is finding your content, you have a hobby. You don't have a business, okay? The internet is a tool. It's like a car. It's a car to help you get there. But you got to put the GPS in. You got to drive it. You got to drive the car. Because imagine if you start the car and you hop out, who knows where the car will end up? Imagine if you build a house with no blueprint. Imagine how the house is going to end up. Imagine, so you have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy, right? How will people find you online? So let's talk about a few local marketing campaigns, okay? Reach more clients in your surrounding areas. Now, designing local specific marketing campaigns. These can be very, very, very simple. Doesn't have to be that difficult. But again, it needs to be planned. It needs to be intentional. It needs to be specific, local specific. So for an example, I have a client and I'm actually going to send out the email here shortly where we kind of came up with the idea for her to visit this little arts and craft type of little ordeal where they collaborate and she's going to offer Botox or maybe a free facial or what have you. We'll figure something out while they are hands-on at the arts and crafts, doing their thing. It can be marketed as a holiday event. However, we'll think about that later, but that is a local specific marketing campaign. But we have to think about, well, what's the offer? Are we doing like raffles? Are we collecting RSVPs, which you should? And if you do collect RSVPs, make sure you contact them within 24 hours just to simply say, hey, thank you. Thank you for RSVPing. Here's what we'll have going on at this day, yada, yada, yada. And if you're independent, you just do it on your own. Just do it on your own. If you're an independent person, if you are someone on here and you have a team, then I recommend you have someone do this with a very bubbly personality that's outgoing and loves what they do, right? Because it will come out on the phone. You don't want your RSVPs to go cold, right? So the purpose of contacting them just to say, hey, just to humanize the experience, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So measuring your local campaign success. So this is another thing that's very important, and it's also something else that it's just missed all the time. I cannot tell you how many clients I have come across where they tell me that they've tried this type of marketing, that type of marketing, this type of marketing, and that type of marketing. And I say, oh, okay, well, how did that work out for you? And they never know. And then they'll shoot it down. They'll say, oh, we don't think that worked for us. But I'm like, well, how do you really know if you didn't track it? So this is kind of more than just measuring local campaign success. I think you should just be measuring your marketing efforts as a whole. A very simple way to start is to ask each and every client, how did they find out about you? The new ones, obviously. I'm not sure how often you have existing patients update information, but include that in the update. How did you find out about us? Because maybe it might change. Maybe in the BC time, they found out about you through yellow pages. Okay, well, now we're in the 2000s. Now they found out about you through social media. So when they come in for that update, just make that a required question. When they first come in and they do patient registration, or they fill out the paperwork, or they do it online, or what have you, as build it in your EHR system to where this is a required question. So that way they can't even hit submit, or your front desk person can't even hit submit unless the referral source question is answered. And it's as simple as, how did you find out about us? And every type of marketing that you are doing, it needs to be there. Email marketing, social media, a local magazine, a billboard, whatever it is, okay? They need, you need to have that in your system. Because what I do is I send you a very nice email at the end of the month, and I'm like, hey, I need you to send me a list of all of your new patients. And I put all of this into the email marketing system. And then I also like to see the referring source, because it helps me know, well, I have my own ways of tracking on my end, but I want to see your data and your information. And I want to reconcile them both to make sure they match up. And usually they're off a little, but if they're like super duper off, then that indicates that there's some sort of error somewhere, somebody ain't talking to somebody, something not clicking or meshing with something. So I have to work, okay, and go figure that out. So anyways, just make sure you measure what it is that you do, because everything that can be measured can be improved. And if you want to improve your efforts, you have to track them. You have to know what's going on. So what we do is we provide tracking numbers. So one of my clients may say, hey, Cherie, we're going to, or they might say, do you think it's a good idea if we participate in blah, blah, blah? And I look at it and I'm like, then I'll go do my research. I'm like, okay, is this a reputable company, or is it just someone out trying to get something? And then usually it's, it's pretty legit. And I'm like, okay, yes, let's do it. So we build we create a tracking number, we issue that, and then we measure it and we look and see how many calls came in on that tracking number within the last 30, 60, 90 days. Is it working? What's the cost per lead? Does it make sense? And if the answer is yes, guess what? Well, we keep doing it. So that is why it's so important to measure what it is that you're doing. I mean, it's so common. It really is so common. Oh, well, we spent $4,000 on, we spent $4,000 last year on a half spread ad in a magazine. And I'm like, well, how many leads actually came in from it? Of course, nobody knows. And then they say, oh, we don't think that shit worked. That's really what a doctor said to me one day. And I was like, well, if you didn't really track it, how can you determine if it worked, right? So that's very important. So, woo, we have reached the end. The end. And now, if you have any questions, I know there's like 2 in the chat right now. So if you have any more, now's the time. Fill them up, fill up the chat with your questions. So Isabel says, oh, I love this question. Isabel says, should we combine email marketing with social media marketing? Isabel, yes, I know you are a new face. So welcome to the AA Dream Team, the Aesthetics Amplified Masterclass. I'm so happy to have you here. So what I would suggest you do is definitely go watch, I believe, lesson 1. I talked all about that. And yes, you are right on the money. You need to combine them both if you really want real results. And especially if you're like just starting out. If you're a smaller account, or maybe you just relocated, or maybe you're just trying to level up or 10x what you're already doing, then yes, use them both. You will see the effects because, again, it's about reaching people who consume content different. You'll be surprised by how many people that, open and read and engage with your emails, they don't follow you on social media yet. So you have to, use that as like a constant reminder to them. And then guess what? You'll see both simultaneously grow. Okay. Good question, Isabel. Thank you so much. All right. Next question. Let me scroll. Nicole. All right. Hi, Nicole. So Nicole, okay, I got to tell y'all this quick story. So Nicole and I, we did a one-on-one session about 3 weeks ago, and it was absolutely amazing. So Nicole, I hope she doesn't mind if I put her business out on the front street. So Nicole is an aesthetic dentist. So it's actually Dr. Nicole. Yeah, she's an aesthetic dentist. She told me to call her Nicole, y'all. But she's an aesthetic dentist, 3 years in the business. She's great on social media already. And she wanted to really know, how can she just make more passive income? And I started off by asking her to let me look at her inbox. Let me see her inbox. And I guarantee you, you're going to have lots of people in there trying to get free information. They want to know, how did you start your practice? Where did you get this from? What, who's your vendor? Who do you use for this? All this stuff, because they want to know what you do, because they see the life that you have designed for yourself. So what I, recommended her to do was to start selling digital products. Start with an ebook. And the next time, and then of course her question was, well, what questions do I put in an ebook? Okay, let's again go through your inbox, and we're going to write down all of the questions. And let's just say we got 7 questions. Those are the questions that you start with. You start with a very simple ebook, boom, just like that. And then the next time somebody comes and they ask you that question, because they're going to come ask that same question or something similar. You send them the link to that ebook. Boom, that's it. Talk about that ebook on your social accounts. Share with your community. This is what you've been working on, right? Give them a little behind the scenes, little glimpse before you release it, just so they can know. You can plant the seed, right? And then you release it, and that's money when you sleep. And that's what I call passive income. But I just had to shout her out. So I'm excited to see her implement that. Girl, make you some money. All right. So back to her question. Are blogs necessary? Good one. So this one, I'll be honest, I struggle with this. Blogs used to be very necessary. I think they were another one of those things that just helps validate you as an industry leader in the expertise. And I also think that blogs are for people who love to read written content. Now, in the world of heavy video. I'm not really sure if people are still reading blogs, but I can't speak because maybe this is just my generation. When we look at the data on the back end of these websites for some of our clients, I can honestly say that the blogs are not the most visited pages, and we run traffic to them all. The blogs are not the most visited. The most visited are like your services, your specials, your discounts, your membership plans, your about us, about the team. Those are the most visited websites. I'm sorry, web pages. So when you ask if blogs are still needed, I'm not sure if they're needed, but I do know that keyword rich content on your website is still required, updated and indexed. It's still required if you want to rank on Google. And that is something that a lot of you miss. And I'll just be honest, you want to save money on a website. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. But then you have a company build your website. But what they don't tell you is building a website is just building. It's just literally putting your website on the World Wide Web. But again, if no one is able to find your website, then you're really just, I mean, honestly, you've just wasted money. So you want to make sure your website is being found by potential clients who want to shop from you and want to bring their families and bring their friends. Yes, Kelsey. Thank you. Kelsey, Jennifer, Alicia, Tammy, Cheryl. Thank you all so much for being here. Now, here's your homework, because I always give you guys homework. So you are going to sketch out, well, you're not going to draw, sketch, that wasn't the right word, just outline, bullet point, okay? You're going to create your client avatar, your client persona, your ideal, okay? And once again, we're thinking about psychographics, physiographics, demographics. Where do they shop? How do they consume content? Are they married? Are they single? Do they take family vacations? How often? What type of music do they like? What stores do they shop at? What are their favorite restaurants? All that stuff matters, I'm telling you. And if you sit and you build this ideal avatar, okay, you create content that is relatable to that avatar. This is how you attract the types of clients that you want. So that's your homework. I want you to build that list. And then I want you to go to your Instagram stories and I want you to say ISO, and we know that stands for in search of clients in whatever area, okay? Who, and then you're going to say the ones who fit this description. So you're going to say in search of clients in Michigan who love to shop at online boutiques, who like to listen to this type of music. Okay, just build it out. Build it out. I really want you to build it out. Make it cute and all that. Use the hashtag aesthetics amplified, and don't forget to tag me, because I want to see it and I want to share it and I want to support you and I want to hype you up and I want to be in your corner saying yes, 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 and you're going to get those clients. Okay, you attract what you post, and if you want to attract more clients that fit your ideal avatar, you got to post about it. Simple. Put it out there. So that's your homework. Don't forget to share your homework also in the AA Facebook community. You can, because there you can ask questions. You can ask me questions and I can help you build this client avatar. It's really so fun. I love it. I'm obsessed with my ideal client. Let me just say that. Sometimes I think I'm her, but I think my ideal client has a whole lot of, has way more money than I do. Okay. So yes, and then sometimes we can be our ideal clients, and sometimes we're not, or maybe we might have similar characteristics. So they're bougie, but I'm bougie on a budget.